Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180, 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and make progress in your life. This is episode 528 of the Daily 180, and I'm revisiting a topic that we talked about probably a year ago. And that idea is the concept of reframing. Sometimes when we talk about what comes out, what kind of outcomes occurred as a result of what we get, as a result of action that we took, there's a tendency to be very dichotomous, to be very black and white, to divide them as successful or not successful, good, bad. And doggone it all, sometimes that's just not right. Especially when we're talking about trying to make progress. And let me see if I can share with you a little story that kind of articulates this. I have been uh, teased, entranced, uh, tormented, tortured, come up with lots of words, by a mountain along the Wasatch Front. The mountain is Mount Olympus. I've been looking at that mountain for over 25 years and saying to myself, one day I'm going to conquer you. Well, last year in November, I took a day and I decided that I would go up an hour and then I would hike down. I told my wife that I would do just an hour because she was very concerned that I was going alone. So I said, I'll just go for an hour. I won't go longer than that and we'll call it good. She said, okay, I'm comfortable with that. So then later on this year, in late July, I decided that I would try and see how far I could go. So I packed my bag. I've spent a lot of time in the mountains. I've not spent my whole life in the mountains, but pretty close. So I took plenty of water, or what I thought was plenty of water. I took what I thought I would need, as far as some food and some other things, and I started my way up the mountain. And I got lost. It's a well laid out trail, but if you're not looking at the trail map, there's a couple of places where adventure looks really fun. And I took off on the adventure and wound up getting myself lost. So I didn't summit that day. I had to come back down. It was extremely hot. I didn't do very well. And so I decided, well, I'll go back another day. So earlier this week, just a few days ago, I climbed the mountain again. This time I took my son with me. We took more water. We took less weight. We took more food. And we still didn't summit. We got to a place called the Saddle. And for those who climb Mount Olympus, they know where that is, just before the Scramble. Some pretty famous places. A place of magnificent views, of glorious views. But because we didn't summit, we were tempted to call that day a failure. My son and I spent a magnificent day together in the mountains, testing our bodies and testing our fitness and seeing some magnificent things along the way. I paid for it. In 2 days, 2 days of soreness afterwards. It was pretty significant. But I was tempted to call it a failure because we didn't summit. We did something amazing. And simply reframing the way that we look at it allows me to say we made progress. We got closer. We learned a little bit more to make us better for the next time. The next time that you face something where you feel like you're looking at it and it didn't work out the way that you want, and you are tempted to tell yourself that it was a failure, stop and remind yourself that progress is about learning what to do better in the future and about having come further than you had in the past. That simple action of reframing takes something that could be considered a failure into a massive step towards success. I hope this has been valuable for you. I hope you share this with as many people as you possibly can. This one, more than anything else, share with people because people need to hear this message. Hit the button to subscribe. Hit the bell to be reminded when we're coming, and come with us and join us in the future. And as I always say, this has been the Daily 180. My name is Todd Wente. Go forth and conquer. We'll talk to you next time.